State-ranked Ontario stands in their way here at the fabulous Ashland Soccer Complex for a fun non-league battle between the Streaking Arrows and the 5-Win Warriors. It's streaming live and free to your smartphone, tablet, PC, or TV. And it's coming your way. Next.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering to 10. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Great matchup in area boys soccer tonight brings you along with us out here at the Ashland Soccer Complex, where Ontario looking to score their 6th win of the season against an Arrow squad fresh off of a pair of shutout victories. Good evening, folks, and welcome here to amazing Ashland, Ohio. My name is Brian Skronsky, joined by Travis Berardi this evening. And a sluggish start to the season for the Arrows against some heavy hitters, though, man. We're talking about some good opponents. Ties against Northview and Lex to start the year before suffering 3 straight losses against the likes of Finlay, Worcester, and Southview. But they're bouncing back. A couple lopsided victories over West Holmes and Mansfield Senior. So they're heading in the right direction. They got the train back on the tracks, and everything, it's bright, it's sunny here in Ashland.
Yeah, don't let that record deceive you. Those games, Northview 4-0-3, a team that should be state ranked. Lexington 5th in D2, 3-0-2. Finley number 10 in D1, 4-0-2. Worcester number 13 in D1, 5-1. Southview 17th in D1, 7-0-2. And all of those matches have been competitive, except for Worcester, but that was because they played with only 10 men. A red card had them down to 10 men at 1-0 in that game, and ended up being 4-0. But other than that, everything's been either a 1-goal deficit or a tie. So Worcester really competitive against very quality competition. And on the other side, you have the Ontario Warriors, 5-1-2. Their lone loss was to Bay, who, they're the #1 team in Division 2.
They're pretty good. They are pretty good. Ontario, though, going to be, again, without their top scoring threat in Gage Weaver. Sidelined. He's got 13 goals on the season. I believe also leads them in assists. But they looked great without him on Monday night in a 5-2 win over last year's MOAC co-champions in Clear Fork. So this is a deep team. We saw it on display at the Colt Corral on Monday night, and we've seen it throughout the season. And really, throughout the last several seasons, that they're deep now, and they're just bringing in kids, the freshmen. They're funneling in new talent every single year. So this team, even if they're down their top guy, still competitive, still a really good team.
Yeah, and what impressed me against Clear Fork, they had 4 guys getting into the scoring column. But not only that, every time Clear Fork scored, they immediately answered. Clear Fork tied it up at 10 seconds in. 10 seconds after Ontario scored, but then not even a minute later, Ontario breaks the tie. Clear Fork scores again early on in the second half. Ontario then breaks away, and they did it with 4 scorers, not just one. One player. Our player of the game had 2 goals, but other than that, they spread the wealth. They used their speed to their advantage as well. Got a couple breakaways. If it wasn't for Clear Fork's goalie being pretty much lights out, it would have been a much bigger score.
Really impressive what we saw from Ontario earlier in the week. Can they continue their impressive play here with another road game tonight at Ashland? We're all about to find out together. The teams are lined up, getting ready to walk out onto the field. And this is one of my favorite times of the game, man. Some teams, it's always interesting to me. Some teams don't do a lot with it. They just walk out a little fist bumps, and that kind of stuff. Dude, and then other teams, they go crazy, man. And they've got celebrations and little handshakes, and they're really loud. So Ontario, typically one of those teams, they bring the juice right here when they come out in the huddle. I don't remember if Ashland is one of those rah-rah type of teams themselves, but we get an opportunity to find out in about 10 seconds here, Travis. So the walkout, to me, one of the more underrated things in sports. We missed it a lot last year with the COVID restrictions. They weren't allowed to. They were just standing out there as they were announced. So I'm happy these are back.
Well, I mean, I'm not a huge soccer fan, but we watch the World Cup. You watch them come out of that tunnel. They grab the ball. They go out, something like this. It just it shows them off. It's their introduction into the match. And like you said, it's a very underrated way to start a sporting event. And it's great. The beautiful game, isn't it?
It is a beautiful game. It's a beautiful night here in Ashland. Both teams, kind of keeping it chill here as they're walking out. Not wanting to show off too much emotion. And nothing wrong with that. I mean, these are guys. Typically, the girls, they're the ones that really go all out.
Oh yeah, but you know what? This is a business trip for both squads. This is what I think is going to be a very entertaining match tonight against, like I said, 2 quality squads. And I said, don't underestimate the record of Ashland. They played quality competition and they played them well.
All right, let's go ahead and check out the starting lineups for both of tonight's teams. We'll begin with the visitors in the Ontario Warriors. And the gentleman that you mentioned from the other night that had 2 goals, really big performance from Aiden Frankhouse. Love what we saw from him. They've been getting quality goalkeeping all season long from the junior Omar Abdelaziz. Josh Young, he is the straw, always mixing up the drink out here. You know what I mean? Like if Ontario was some chocolate milk, there would never be any stuff on the bottom, Travis, because he's just always working
mix
from
that
the middle.
Powdered quick up. You got to mix that up, right? He's the spoon, the straw that mixes everything together, makes sure everything is cohesive and working.
And across the midfield, Gage Johnson doing a great job so far throughout the season. Barbani as well, and Tyler Daniels. I really like just about everybody out there for Ontario, and then they bring in some kids off the bench that are really quality players as well. And then on the other side for the Ashland Arrows, a couple kids typically in the starting lineup, in Avery Hickson and Roman Ramirez. You might notice they are out, contact traced. They're not going to have them tonight, but they do have their leading scorer in Dylan Cruddy. He's got 6 goals on the season. Andrew Mills, he's been a great distributor for them. 6 assists, leads the team. He's also scored 5 times, and then a ton of seniors. You might notice that, Travis, 12 in total on this team, and quite a few of them in that starting lineup.
Yeah, and kind of like Ontario, they have 3 or 4 top scorers, but then a lot of guys that have 1 or 2 goals, so they spread the wealth as well. And something that I like about Ashland, their players were trying to get some stats before the match, and one of the players comes over, I don't keep goals and assists, but I do take nutmegs. I do record those, so that's a funny little stat that they like to keep. But hey, why not? That's one of the best plays in soccer is the little nutmeg, go through the 5-hole, get a nice pass.
Yeah, I think now in modern society in 2021, these kids, they're always trying to shorten everything. You can't just say a full word, so I believe they just refer to them as megs now.
Oh, okay.
In the modern day.
Just
but
simplify it even more, yeah.
You're right. I do love the kids that's one of their goals is to go out there and embarrass the opponent and make yourself look real cool in the process. So the meg, probably about the coolest thing in soccer. I mean, scoring's fun.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, but if you can go in between a kid's legs and then keep your momentum going straight towards net to get off a shot even, that's next level stuff, man.
I also like the 35 to 40-yard free kick that goes top corner. We had one from Clear Fork. Their first goal, I believe, was from about 25, 30 yards, and then the Sports Center top play from last year, Taylor Huff from about midfield, putting it in the state semifinal. Those are the great plays as well. But yeah, the nutmeg's got to be the top.
When we live in a great country, we will pay our respects with the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Then we'll get you ready for kickoff here from Ashland. So we are all set for high school soccer action now. Ontario and Ashland. It's been a fun rivalry here as of late, and the Aerials actually have had the run of play. A couple of ties in 2017 and 18, but Ashland has won the last 2 years by a combined total of 6-1. So while Ontario at the end of the years has the better seasons, it's been Ashland that's got the best in this matchup.
Yeah, 2 years ago, that 4-0 loss for Ontario, they were a younger squad. They had better hopes last year, but Ashland, came out with a tough victory. Ontario looking for that victory. They haven't had an outright win since 2016 against Ashland, and it would really help their resume, you could say, if they can get a win here, because they've only played 2 ranked opponents. They tied Lexington, they lost to Bay, while Ashland, they've played 5 state-ranked teams to start the season off.
Warriors typically test themselves early in the season with some non-conference opponents, and this is one of them, man. This is always one of those barometers for the MOAC Warriors going up against a D1 squad like Ashland, who themselves, they've put together a nice program over here. They're consistently producing some top-level talent. They're enjoying some nice seasons, and we are underway here from Ashland at the Community Soccer Complex. One of the nicer grass surfaces that we have for soccer in the area. You got to give props to the maintenance folks out here.
Yeah, not only this field, but the multiple fields you'll probably see, as you saw in the open with the drone shot. There's about 5 or 6 fields with teams playing on them right now, but they really keep all these fields up very nicely. And you have the girls and boys soccer teams, and the grass still looks very, very well kept today.
Arrows looking to move it deep into Warriors territory, but Carter Weaver, with a nice pressure there, forces kind of a missed kick out of bounds.
Ontario throw-in by Carter Weaver.
But off the throw-in, Warriors give it right back
And that's a nice move through, but a steal.
That was Dylan Cruddy that was weaving his way through traffic before poked away just at the last second. He was nearly one-on-one with the keeper.
And Ontario already trying to show off that speed, but Ashland really kept right with them. So that pass is a little too far to the goalie.
What I love about Ontario, though, is how many kids on any given possession when they're moving towards net are willing to make a run. Sometimes they'll just blast it out from their midfielder, and this is the kid that usually does it, Josh Young. He'll just set it out there and hope one of his speedsters can catch up to the ball, and we know that he's great from this situation. Here's a big drive into the box, but it's going to miss everything.
See, I think he was expecting somebody to get ahead on that, but nobody was able to get to the ball once he kicked it a little too far. And it'll be a goal kick for the Arrows. And a nice one at that.
Yeah, it's a boot beyond midfield. First touch, though, belonging to the Warriors and Wolf. Ashland playing with a couple of forwards up top.
Yeah, completely different than what we saw with Clear Fork, where they played with 9, 10 players back on defense. Ashland looking to press it out early.
Weaver lost the handle. Could set up a big shot here, but that one's ripped way too tall. And it's Crudy. So Dylan Crudy with the first shot that we've had here on the match, and just way too pumped up on that one.
Well, that, and as well, the ball was still bouncing a little bit as he went for the kick. If it was down, if it wasn't bouncing, I think he would have had more of a line on it, but ball was a little bit up in the air when he kicked it, got under it too much.
Nice header here to the near side wing for Aiden Frankhouse.
Little friendly bump there allows Ashland to clear that out.
That was Schaefer playing the D on that back line.
Out on Ashland, Ontario throw-in. Taken by number 13, Ethan McCoy.
Johnson lays it back. Got Gage Johnson back tonight after missing him. And had an opportunity to talk with Gage Weaver just a little bit before the match. He received a red card a couple of games ago. He's going to be back after tonight's contest. I guess he was a little bit too aggressive towards the end of the game in the team's game against Granville. Ran through the back of a defender, and he got a red card at the end. He said he was a little surprised by it, didn't think that it was warranted a red, but nevertheless, it's kept him out the last match and then not available here tonight for Coach Chris McLenithan and his staff.
Yeah, and that's against another quality opponent in Granville, always one that plays for at least a regional. And, you know, you get that high competition against another good squad, you want to go all out. And sometimes, you know, you get unlucky. I mean, he said it wasn't anything aggressive. It wasn't anger towards the player. He was just trying to get position and just went through the guy.
Give and go right here for the Arrows. That last connecting pass just not available for Mills. Too much juice behind it.
And early on, we've seen quality possessions by both sides, quality attempts on net, but just unable to get into the back of the net yet.
And I see you folks out there watching in Facebook land, and go ahead, drop me a line. Let me know who you're cheering for tonight. I see Ruby says that we got this, Ontario Warriors. Clearly an Ontario fan right there. Let me know who you are cheering on, and I will read your message over there.
Crudy he was able to get that on a line that time, keep it on the ground, but just wide left of Abdelaziz.
Big collision in the air there. Two players just going up for it, and it was Barbaney taking the brunt end as Mills draws the whistle.
Free kick taken by Josh Young.
Samantha, go Arrows, she says. So far, one Ontario fan, one Ashland fan out there in the comment section. Sometimes it's a fun battle out there when we get a ton of comments going.
Yeah.
Another way that you can show your fanhood here on the OH Report.
And I'd have to say we have the best fans in the area as well. Our viewers here at the OH Report.
Fantastic.
Especially on Facebook. Since the start of the fall season, we've reached over 1 million people.
Pretty awesome.
That is amazing, and we want to thank everybody who watch our highlights, who chime in on our live streams. As the Warriors with the first corner of the night.
Corner kick will be taken by Josh Young.
And who else but Josh Young to take it?
Yeah, he typically measured these well, though he's going to play it short here to Johnson.
And we saw them do this at least once against Clear Fork. Didn't like what they saw inside the 18, so just dump it out and reset. And they got a good look.
Yeah, great look there from Frankhouse.
Shot by Aiden Frankhouse is saved by Bryce Thompson.
So despite not even taking the full free kick, they were still able to set something up to get a good look on net.
Ontario likes those short ones just to get it in and then fill out the play. And that's a great look from Frankhouse. You got to give a lot of love to Thompson making that save, man.
And also Lavengood for getting out of the way at the last second. If that deflects off of him, it might have been in the back of the net.
A lot of pressure right there from the Arrows defense. Ontario was able to avoid it. And the captain Lavengood, I think, felt like kind of changed the official's call on that play. Talked him right into it.
Was just told by the PA announcer as well as Lavengood. It's his son, actually, so we don't
Better get that
apologies
one right.
for that one. Yeah. Ashland with a shot here.
Shot by Bryce Mendenhall.
I think that was more of a pass than anything, but still saved.
Didn't get very much sauce behind that one. Now the Warriors boot it deep. Ashland can't keep it in bounds on the clear there from Braxton Hunt. Young tangled up. We'll see if he got a whistle. He did, so he's going to get a second opportunity already early in the match. Not even 8 minutes in, and he's going to have a set piece. This time a little bit closer, Travis, and he's deadly with these. It's going to be curious to see how Ontario elects to play this. Does he just try to put one on net or play something backside?
We'll see. I'm going to take a guess at he's going to go to the far post at this. They have 4 Warriors standing over there ready to head in there, maybe get a deflection in. We'll see what he does.
Now they send a 5th Warrior over. Instead, he's just going to put a shot, and it sails high, probably about 6, 7, 8 feet high.
So yeah, he did try that far post, but he's trying for the net and not a pass. And just a little too much juice on that.
Short goal kick this time. Ontario with the high press. Nearly took it away, but the Arrows starting to get on the run. They've got bodies forward.
Nice through ball.
Owen Sherrick couldn't get there in time. Warriors defend it well.
And there's that speed of the Warriors once again. It looked like we were going to have a breakaway there for a second by Sherrick, but
instead it's Frankhouse. Looked like he was going to take it down the near side wing. Hunt there. Nice defense.
that time he's going to get the through ball.
And the shot is good. So striking first are the Ashland Arrows. It's Owen Sherrick. And that's huge right there. We talk about it all the time, but typically when you're the team that can strike first and you get that momentum flowing in your direction, always
what a pass.
good thing.
He threaded the needle there, and Sherrick was ready to take it, gets it right in on the goalie.
Wow.
Makes him make that first move, and then he adjusts the shot, gets it past him, and it's 1-0 Arrows.
And how about that near post shot, too? Those are not easy, folks, with the goalie breathing down your neck right there. Did a nice job using his body to shield off the defender, too. All-around top-notch play for the first goal.
So we saw this, the Clear Fork match. Both times Clear Fork scored, Ontario, within a couple of minutes, equalized. We'll see if they can get that rush back, or can Ashland continue the onslaught that they have.
Frankhouse has to retreat all the way back outside the 18. Couple of nice passes. Great pressure that whole time from Lavengood, just making it hard on Ontario to get it out of their end, but they are able to do so, getting it down in the corner.
Nice fight for the ball over here. Clean as well.
Now McCoy around a double team, sends one back post. Are you kidding me?
What did I tell you, Brian?
Woo.
Can Ontario get that quick equalizer? And once again they do, and we're tied at 1.
You want to talk about putting some bend on a ball, folks? Check out this J&F replay right here. That thing should be sailing wide from the trajectory he originally put it on, but he had so much English on it. Boy, that bent like a couple feet in midair into the back post. Beautiful, beautiful into the corner of the net.
He had the separation and had the shot he wanted. We're tied up at 1. So in 2 games, Ontario's given up 3 goals, but immediately afterwards they've answered.
Big answer right there for Ontario. As we're right around 24 minutes remaining here in this opening half. Ashland looking to flip the field. Abdelaziz has to come out, and he was outside of the 18, so probably made the wise decision. Just put it out of play, figure things out from there.
Allows him to regroup, get back in the box, allows the defenders to get back, because there weren't that many defenders back for Ontario, so now they get the reset as well.
Ashland throwing by Owen Sherrick.
Sherrick with the throw into the box. It's going to be flicked out of there by Johnson. Now a low clear is going to be won here at the midfield by Johnny Ward. And a nice look. Lavengood putting it to the outside for Fox. And the whistle, that's going to come just on the perimeter of the 18. So this is a dangerous position, of course. For Ontario, they're going to be able to set up a wall. And these are always fun to see how the offenses elect to play these. They've got, right now, Lavengood and Mills both, you know, floating around the rock.
Ashland free kick looks like it'll be taken by Andrew Mills.
Yeah, this is a good position, at least for Ashland. It's almost nearly directly on, so they can do a lot of things here with this.
Mills, a lefty.
Although with it being so close, this wall of Ontario cuts a lot of angles off.
Yeah, it's a 6-man wall, and he just hit the one on the far outside. Looked like it went into the hip on the edge of that wall.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 inches more to the left, that gets through the wall.
Ashland throwing to be taken by Johnny
So
Ward.
here it is, off of the hip of Jacob Barbaney. Good hop, bouncing off the body there, so Ontario gets themselves out of a tough situation.
And they're lucky because 1.5 feet closer than the net, that's a penalty kick.
Throw in here on the near side, coming up here for Sherrick. Looking to get it right back to him, but taken away by Frankhouse. And these soccer players, they always amaze me how nimble they are. Guys come sliding in, and they just fly right over the top, man. Like,
I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd be without both shins probably, because it's
there's
a
no
split
question.
reaction time. It's a very quick reaction time because sometimes they're sliding from behind as well, and they get in front of you, and you have to, just like that, or you're going down on your face.
Deflected back in play by Frankhouse. Ontario tried to swat it towards net. Just good individual effort right there from Hunt.
We've seen Ontario, their offensive possessions have been pretty much one and done. They may get one shot, but their possessions haven't been too long every time they've made it into the Ashland side of the field. Ashland, they've had a couple times where they've been passing it around trying to set something up. Ontario is more of that running gun offense.
Got a little bit more direct approach here tonight, but we're going to get our first offside call. And just a couple of steps off was Ethan McCoy off of that flicked-on header.
Free kick will be taken by Bronson Schaefer.
Bronson Schaefer will take the free kick, and he lines it to the midfield stripe.
Right into the body there, Barbaney. Sometimes those ones sting a little bit.
But bruises build character, Brian.
Ashland throw-in will be taken by Carson Lavengood.
That they do. Sometimes it can take you out of your game, at least for a couple of minutes, where
Oh,
you're
yeah,
thinking a little
definitely.
bit more about it. Nice foot race right there. Schaefer able to beat Judson to the spot.
It's going to be an Ontario throw, however. So the Warriors with a chance here, deep in Ashland territory.
Pardon me. Free kick.
They're actually going to call a foul on Ashland.
Ontario by Josh Young.
Yeah, this definitely changes the approach here for the Warriors.
It's the 4th Ashland foul here in the first 15 minutes.
Young sends back post, had somebody there. Header just a bit off target from Wolf. Wasn't able to aim it on frame.
In the game for Ontario, number 2, Brandon Literal.
Ontario with some
15,
substitutions.
Kyle Walters, 21, Zane Fulmer.
As we approach the midway point of the first half, tied up at 1.
Ontario
It's been good, clean soccer here so far through about the first 20 minutes of action. Like little pieces of what we've seen from both sides.
Yeah, both sides applying pressure. Haven't really seen a defensive strategy by either side. It's get the ball out and go.
What I like, though, it's high work rate right now. Effort and energy when it's in a particular player's zone. These guys are going all out right now.
Kind of gives you that tournament atmosphere, doesn't it, Brian?
Yeah, it does. I mean, these are two top-level teams. Ashland, of course, is Division I, so for Ontario, I mean, this is a look against a bigger school. And for the Arrows, this is a state-ranked D2 opponent.
Oh.
Nearly
That was almost an own goal.
took the lead right there, and you're right.
Shot by
That one was
Ontario, goes
close.
by left, goal kick
I believe that's
coming from
Bronson
Arrows.
Schaefer there, and then
In the game for Ashland, 18,
Man,
Jordan
gave a big
Yorson.
shove at the end of the play to McCoy. I'm surprised, honestly, that the official didn't recognize that and blow the whistle.
Well, I think the officials saw that it actually was a shot by Ontario. Wasn't going to be an own goal because he's given the goal kick to Ashland, so the last touch was against Ontario, I'm guessing. But you're talking about just the quality competition. We always talk about the 4 Richland County squads of Madison, Ontario, Lexington, Clear Fork, but Ashland as well. Constantly with some good soccer up here in Ashland County.
They put together some solid programs. Had a nice run right there towards net. And we did get an inside scoop from Ontario on the sideline. We heard before the match that they are wearing their lucky jerseys tonight, Travis, so take it for what it's worth. Ashland, could it mean that they're in trouble a little bit here?
Well, it allowed them to equalize pretty quick. So it's worked so far. Got to give it to Hayden Gray, our sideline camera, doing a little reporting as well down there. So thank you to Hayden for that scoop. Adam as well, Adam Thompson, our producer.
Be taken by Caden Fox.
Off the throw in, a ton of white jerseys right now. Packing it in are the Warriors. They've got everybody back on their side of the field, just one player up top. So not trying to risk allowing Ashland to get a clean look on frame that time.
And just like that, Ontario's already back out at midfield trying to get an offensive possession.
That's where they can really hurt you. Ontario, they've built a name for themselves with that counterattack, getting players, running lanes, playing through balls.
High kick on the Warriors. Free
And
kick coming
free
for
kicks on the
Ashland.
way here for the Arrows. High kick there from McCoy. Beautiful night here in Ashland. Can't ask for much better weather than what we've got tonight here. So,
Free kick's gonna be taken by
no
Bronson Schaefer.
qualms, no excuses from either side about the conditions.
We've been fortunate the last few weeks. Other than the heat, it's been a little hot to start out, but hey, that's the end of August. Free kick is going to be corralled by Abdelaziz, but Other than the heat, yeah, beautiful weather here in north central Ohio the last few weeks.
Warriors with some pretty nice ball movement. A few fortunate bounces kept them with possession. And now an unfortunate bounce for them sends Ashland heading back the other way.
Ontario will allow to reset their defense here on his throw-in. Yet to see a nutmeg yet, or as the kids would say, a meg.
Just a meg. That one volleyed back inside, trying to hook up with Young. The first touch taken away. Well done there by Ports. Now Lavengood battling, lost his footing, and the Warriors with a chance here to try to get on and counterattack.
Ooh, big collision. They're going to let him play. That was incidental.
Yeah, three bodies just moving real quick all into the same area. Abdelaziz going to scoop this thing up, but still a player down for Ontario at midfield. It's Ethan McCoy grabbing that right ankle. The officials not stopping the clock. Not stopping.
He went over to him. I guess he asked, "Are you all right?" He said, "Yes."
Yeah, you know what? That probably actually should have been a foul watching it for the second time against Gage Johnson. He wasn't involved in the play. He came over and provoked the contact with the Ashland player that ended up bumping into McCoy, kind of set that whole thing off.
And we do have a stoppage now. So we'll get an injury substitution.
Looks like McCoy's going to be okay. Probably just rattled a little bit right now. And
I mean, who wouldn't be? That was a pretty vicious hit. Just look at the replay. Kind of blindsided there.
Warriors play it back to the keeper. Nice shot here down the near side. But Ontario, they're kind of playing a defensive formation right now and just looking for that big through ball and hoping one of their speedsters on the perimeter can go up and make a play like Zane Fulmer just tried right there.
Yeah, they've seen Ashland's attack so far, and they're looking more just to use their speed. Like you said, just a couple forwards, try and get out to the outside, try to use that speed to get past the back line of Ashland. But it's worked on a couple times for Ontario, and it's allowed them to also really shut down that Ashland attack.
Ontario throw-in by number 9, Jordan Bulikowski.
With Johnson losing his footing, Ashland takes possession here. Big ball up the middle. Mills making a run. Weaver taking his time, continuing to carry. Now he unloads down the far side.
Nobody there this time. It's going to go all the way back to the keeper.
Thompson has not handled the ball much here tonight.
Oh, what a miss hit.
Now under 17 minutes to go here in this opening half. And Ontario looking to put the pressure on in the attacking third. Just nowhere to go with the ball right now for Johnson.
Yeah, he was double teamed down there in the corner. Ashland wasn't biting on anything. They were keeping some distance as well.
Just smart, disciplined defense by the Arrows.
That'll be a throw-in for Ontario.
Ontario throw-in by Carter Weaver.
So we see more Ontario fans in our comment section. Ruby jumping back in there. Says Baba Mary and Baby Ruby watching. Go Warriors.
Okay. Low kick coming for Ontario. In game for Ashland.
You love to see it.
Love the shout out.
Also saying defend Warriors defend is Ruby.
Barbara Keller watching from home. Most of these players on the Ontario side played together since they were 6 years old. So much fun to be a grandma to watch her grandson. That's great. That's why we do what we do, man.
That's what you got to love about high school sports. Let the whole families show their pride. I think you're right. This is why we do it. We want to allow everybody. We want to allow the grandparents, the aunts, the family that's moved away. Everybody watch their nephews, grandchildren, sons, daughters, anybody. That's one of the main reasons why we like to do it live and free. Ontario forced to retreat there. It's a kind of a missed pass, but Abdelaziz able to get it before it goes out.
Able to find one of his midfielders in Johnson. He's going to send it forward. Headed up there by Ports. If not, the Warriors had 3 white shirts moving forward on that one. And here comes another through ball, but it's not getting through. Another nice header, one out of the air by Dorian Dorson.
Ontario's going to get called for a foul.
And how about a shout out to the undefeated Arrows JV boys soccer team? We were talking to the coaching staff during the JV contest. 6-0-2 on the season. Ontario scored against them. 4-1 was the final tonight, but they've only given up 4 goals all season. So the future, my friends, looking real shiny for these Arrows.
And they were able to do that as well because there's 12 seniors on this squad, so there's some juniors playing back at JV. But that's a good thing for a Division I squad to have some depth come up and replace your senior class. It allows them to continue to compete in a tough Division I here in Ohio.
And nothing wrong with being a junior and competing at the JV level if you're not going to get those minutes as a varsity player because there's just an overload to 12 seniors. You can only have so many on the roster. You know, good for them for going out, competing, and having a phenomenal JV season so far.
Well, and that experience is exactly what they need as well. Because other squads, you'll see some juniors on the bench not get that much playing time, but just because Ashland has a situation where they have so many seniors, those juniors will get some quality playing time.
Laven Good rips one to the outside. It's going to find its way through Mendenhall on the left wing. Deflected. Back to Crudy.
A lot of weight in there, though, Brian.
Yeah, they're packing it in real tight, making it tough for Ashland to get anything going towards the net. And eventually, the Arrows lose it over the end line.
Yeah, that Ontario defense just completely collapsed around him, gave him no avenue to pass that.
Goal kicks coming from Omar Abdelaziz.
Warriors make a substitution. Gage Johnson will take a break. So we come up on 12.5 minutes left in the first half.
Laven Good sends one too tall. But I think he kind of sensed, you know, it's tough right now to crack through this back perimeter of the Warriors. So he had a clean look, nobody in front of him, elect to unload it, and just sometimes gets away from you.
He also felt a defender coming in at him, so he rushed it just a little bit too much there and got a little bit under it. Nice pass.
Yeah, it was. And now the shot.
What a save.
And the save by Abdelaziz, who scoops it up. Good-looking run towards the net. Crudy thought that he was going to have one, but Omar says, not this time, buddy.
That time, Abdelaziz didn't commit to anything, forced the offensive player to make the move, and then he adjusted to it and then was able to regroup and grab it for the goal kick.
Whistle goes against Ontario, so just on the other side of midfield, a free kick on the way here for Ashland and Dorian Dorson.
And a fun stat right now, Brian. Both teams, 5 shots, 2 on target, 1 in the back of the net. So a fairly evenly played match thus far, and like I said earlier, it's going to be entertaining. It has been entertaining thus far.
Ashland keeps possession. Tried to set it up for one of those captains, but Just so many defenders right now back for Ontario.
Here's a big chance for Ashland. It's a foul in the corner. It's going to be pretty much a corner kick for the Arios, just about maybe 10 yards closer.
These are always tough angles. It's like a corner, of course, but just a little bit closer so you can do some more with it.
Free kick's going to be taken by Dylan.
And Ashland got 8 players right now, all inside that 18, looking to crash on net.
And the one lone player for Ontario guarded by 2 Ashland Arrows.
But it's the Warriors who win it out of the air. It was Brandon Littoral. And now Ontario clears.
So yeah, it wasn't what Ashland was looking for. Didn't really even get an attempt on. Ontario's going to be called offsides. Second time they've been called for offsides tonight.
That was Brody Conley, who just checked in off of the bench. He was a big difference maker in the Warriors' win the other night at Clear Fork. Was able to score a goal. And there, just a skosh offsides. He thought that he timed it perfectly.
Look at you using those big words, Brian.
Like skosh?
Yes.
It's sad when a one-syllable word is a big one. But for this brain,
rarely used.
it's
That's
all,
what I mean.
all that I can really calculate.
There you go.
My mom would be so proud.
See, that's why you're doing the play-by-play and I'm color commentator, because I don't have that big of a vocabulary yet.
Ooh, another big word. Way to go, Travis. Dang.
Ontario with a throw-in. 9 minutes left in the half.
Yeah, any goals at this point, when it's late on time in the half of the, I just feel like they carry a little bit more gravity with them. They mean a bit more to your team when you're starting to kind of play for the half and then you execute and you get one in there. And the Warriors getting some fresh bodies in there, making 3 changes.
Oh, it is definitely a big momentum boost because, like you said, both teams, okay, we're getting down towards the end of the half. We don't want to take too many chances here, but if we can get a ball in the net, that's what you're thinking about when you go into the half. Why did we, for the other side, why did we just give up a goal when we were so close to the break? And then for the scoring team, hey, that's huge.
Ball evidently out of bounds. Frank House tried to keep it in play.
Pardon me, corner kick coming for Ontario. Corner kick will be taken by
And it's going to be
Josh
Young who's going to handle the corner duties. Warriors going to send up an extra. Well, I thought they were going to send up Trevor Maglet to get involved. And so they got 8 players in the box. Almost hooked up with Wolf on the backside, but headed out and
They're going to get another chance.
yeah, switch from one end to the other. So Young getting some cardio here.
Another corner kick coming for Ontario.
He's going to have his friend Brandon Littoral with him for short kick.
Brandon Littoral.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that quick pass in here to set something up. Nope, he's going to head out now, so.
Well, sometimes teams won't defend that, but Caden Fox said, no, I don't think I want you guys just getting in one of those quick ones. Young unloads, and that's way out. Not one of his better attempts.
Yeah, I think he was aiming for the top of the 18, but kicked it a little too far wide. Oh, and there's a big push. That's going to be a foul in Ontario.
Foul in Ontario. Free kick coming for Ashland.
Friendly little shove right there.
Yeah, 2 hands into the back. They're going to call that every single time on McCoy.
Another nice boot.
Yeah, it was. But Ontario doing a nice job winning at the point of attack. Those 50-50 balls. You see Wolf skying up that time again to make first contact for the kids in white.
Yeah, that back defensive line for Ontario's really picked things up in the last 10 minutes. Ashland hasn't had as many chances as they had in the first 15.
Frank House wanted to turn the corner towards net. Just too much speed. Dorison did a nice job sticking with him step for step. As Wolf comes over and
It was a very nice job, yeah.
Needed that one.
That was the last line of defense for Ontario as well, so it really took away a good scoring chance for Ashland.
Sometimes those gambles can kill you if you overrun the play, but if you come up and you make that defensive effort and it goes out like you just did, It eliminates, like you said, another offensive possession for your opponent.
For a coach, that's one of those no, 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 yes, yes, yes moments.
Quickly off the restart, Ontario sends it forward for Judson. Split between a double team. He thought that he got fouled. He was calling for one.
The referee saying that was incidental. We'll see.
Judson, huge, heavy touch. And I think it was a little bit out of his range. Ports came over. Yeah. Kind of looked like he sold it a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe a little lean in there, but nonetheless.
Oh, Dylan Crudy nearly had a great opportunity there. But Ashland sticking with it. They've got numbers forward right now. To the outside, they lay it off to Fox.
Oh, nice. Well, at the time, it was a good deflection out. It does let them set up, but Ashland's going to have a corner. They're first of the night.
So we're down under 5 minutes remaining before the break.
Corner kick's going to be taken by Dylan Crudy.
Dylan sends near post. Dorson there
wow.
for the one-timer.
Goal scored by Dorian Dorson.
Ooh, doggy, that was set up beautifully, and then I don't know what he's doing there.
He
but
slipped
he's got
away.
The celebration.
At the 4-minute, 40-second mark of the first half.
Look at this thing of beauty, folks. This is put right where it needs to be. Off the hop, timed up to perfection for Dorson.
And I don't think a couple Ontario defenders were moving there. Allowed him to get a wide open look. No, there was nobody in front of him. He's able to collect it, corral it, and just boot it into the back of the net. That was a very well-executed play there by Ashland off the corner. And they have the 2-1 lead. But once again, can Ontario get that quick strike?
That's been their MO so far this season. A lot of teams, they get down on themselves after they give up a goal. Ontario gets real mad, and then they come attacking like a hornet's nest.
That cross is saved. So Ontario immediately, right off the kick, pressing the offense, but this time Ashland able to stop it. And if they can play 4 more minutes of defense, this is going to be a huge boost for the Arrows as we go into the break.
Warriors with some nice ball movement until that last pass taken away, picked off by Crudy. And this one's going to roll out of bounds. Should be a throw-in for the Warriors here on the near side.
Ontario throw-in by number 9, Jordan Bukalowski.
Crudy looking for some options, trying to reverse field. Didn't get enough behind that one. Wanted to hook up with Mendenhall on the left wing.
And a miss hit there by Ontario as well.
So it leads to another attack here for the Arrows. Sherrick sets it up for Fox.
Nice defense.
Yeah, it was. Mills tried to zip his way through traffic. But the Warriors come away with the stop. Now playing it down deep into the corner where Johnson makes a run. And Dorson puts it out. I think it should be a deep throw if he angled it right.
Yeah, will be a throw.
Throw-in for Ontario.
Just got it on the right side of the net. So it'll be a throw-in instead of a corner. Cross back post. Nobody there, though.
Ball goes out of bounds on Ontario. Goal kick coming for Ashland. In the game for the Arrows, number 9, Noah McDonald.
Noah McDonald checking in for the Arrows. He's going to replace Caden Fox.
Goal kick for
So
Ashland.
we come up on 2 minutes left here in the half.
Make sure that you stick around for our Sutton Bank halftime. We'll have some analysis for you folks. Break down all the stats from the first half action.
2 minutes.
And tell you what we got going on the OH report tomorrow night. Big night of football. And that's a big pass to the outside. We'll see if Crudy can do something with it. Sets
Big
it up,
shot.
Yeah, set it up inside. Got it to his right foot.
Goal kick coming for Ontario.
Pretty quality attempt.
Yeah, it was. I like that opportunity. Had enough space to at least try to get it on net. About 3 feet too tall, but Nothing wrong with that, especially with the 2-1 lead. Maybe get that 2-goal lead going into the break, all the momentum on your side. So there's, like I said, nothing wrong with that shot. And now they get a free kick.
That's the third foul against Ethan McCoy by my count, so he's playing a physical brand of soccer here in this opening half.
But no cards yet, so I would say he was okay with that. Now, if Ashland can somehow score off of this, it's a different story.
That one's going to make its way into the hands of the keeper. Abdelaziz handles. But a big strike.
1 minute left. Can Ontario get 1 goal in here?
McCoy just lost his footing that time. Now look at the speed to the outside right here. Mendenhall trying to create a one-man break. Sets it up, though, to the middle, and it's a sky ball. Way too much behind it right there for Sherrick.
That was a well-executed play. You have the streaker down the sideline. The trail guy coming up right behind gets the pass, has the look, but he just got under it too much.
Yeah, Sherrick, unfortunately, he's going to be probably thinking about that one here early in the half.
That's one of those, teed up balls. Your eyes get wide and you overthink it. Can Ashland get a chance here? Nice save.
With the shot. But again, Omar with a nice save, and boy, that one would have been huge. So a nice save for Ontario is going to keep it a 2-1 lead in favor of the Arrows as we approach the half. Omar, look at that big save right there on the J&F Construction replay. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have your Sutton Bank halftime with stats, analysis, and show you what's on the menu tomorrow for Friday Night Football here in North Central Ohio. Keep it locked and loaded. The OH Report returns live and free right after this.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents totally unrealistic, never gonna happen in a million years mom fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering to 10. Bags!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
40 minutes down, and we've got a 2-1 game right now in favor of the Ashland Arrows as we welcome you to our Sutton Bank halftime. Brian Skoronsky along with Travis Berardi. An exciting first half of soccer. We saw great offensive buildup on both sides. Ashland just one extra highlight for the Real so far with Duerson having that go-ahead goal. That was big time, man.
Yeah, scoring Sherrick for Ashland got things started in the 10th minute, but once again, Ontario able to bounce right back. McCoy in the 12th, and then Duerson off that perfect set piece off the corner in the 32nd minute to make it 2-1. Shots on target, 10-5. 3 of those came in the last, 2 minutes by Ashland, so it was more of an equal match until about the last maybe 5 minutes after that goal. Ashland really picked it on. So yeah, 10 shots, 4 on target for Ashland, 5 shots, 2 on target for the Warriors. Corner kicks, Ontario with 3, Ashland with 1. That one turned out to be the big one. Possession, though, I think it was even, like I said, until that last 5 minutes. That's why we give Ashland the 53-47 advantage. Fouls, Ontario with 6, 5 for Ashland. Offsides, Ontario with 2, Ashland with none, and then no cards. It's been a fairly clean match. We have had some fouls, but other than that, very entertaining first half, Brian.
Yeah, no question about it. And I like portions of what we saw from both sides, offensively, defensively. So, a lot to take from those first 40 minutes and digest. But like we said, moments before that big Duerson goal, sometimes those goals towards the end when you're late on time, short on time, they're just a little bit bigger. They carry some more weight. It puts them on top right now, so the Warriors going to have to play from behind. Just makes a little bit of a difference, I think. Yeah, definitely. But, we've seen with Ontario, especially in that Clear Fork match, they're able to score quick to, equalize, and they're far from out of this, Brian. I mean, the multiple chances they've been getting out, they've been trying to use their speed, but Ashland's done a good job to really equalize that themselves, get back on defense, and, their offensive possessions, I think, have been just a little bit more crisp. They have, and for Ontario, going up against a nice D1 squad like Ashland, who's been battle-tested. We talked about the Murderers Row that they've played so far on the season, a bunch of state-ranked teams, some D1 opponents, and it doesn't get any easier from them as they move forward. So for Ontario, this is a tough game not to have your big gun. They were able to overcome Clear Fork in what was a tightly contested game until the second half when they pulled away 1-5-2. But with no Gage Weaver tonight, the dude that really can just take over a ball game for you, he's such a lanky, athletic kid. They don't have that target up top for them to rescue them tonight, and there's the back of Gage's head right there. So that's tough for them not having them in uniform. I think that's going to be a difficult challenge for the Warriors in this second half to overcome. That guy right there, number 14, Aiden Frankhouse, he made up for the loss of Gage last time they were on the field. Can they find somebody else to step up and be a hero tonight? That's going to be the question. That's a good thing. I was saying this in the Clear Fork match, too. This is allowing somebody else the opportunity to step up. Your leader is out on the bench right now. You have somebody else get that ability to step up, and then when he comes back, now you have multiple guys with that confidence. So this is a big test for Ontario, but even though he's out, it's a not welcome, but a good test for Ontario. We're going to take one more commercial break, and when we return, your second half action is going to be lighting up our screen here at the Ashland Soccer Complex. So keep it here. You're watching live and free Boys High School Soccer exclusively on the OH Report.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering to tech. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Halftime here at the Ashland Soccer Complex, 2-1. The Arrows out in front of the Ontario Warriors, and what's become a really fun rivalry matchup here over the last several seasons, with the Warriors getting their program to an elite level, Ashland doing the same, as we've got some stunning overhead aerial looks here, courtesy of Nick Jacobs up top doing our camera work. So
soon to be Papa Nick Jacobs.
That's right, just a couple more weeks until it's Three's company in the Jacobs household. So enjoying himself while he can, having fun, flying around the drone. Just cool shots, man. Always fun to see that overhead perspective. And we've got the lineup for you guys coming up here in a second for our Friday night football coverage on the OH Report. Tons of games coming your way. Let's go ahead and take a look at them right here and now. One of our featured games will be over at Ashland Community Stadium, just across town, where Monroeville will be taking on the undefeated Crestview Cougars. Travis, you're going to be down in Howard, Ohio, checking out East Knox, taking on an opponent they just picked up a few hours ago.
Yeah, the Conotton Valley Rockets out of the Ohio Valley Athletic Conference, a team that I played when I was in high school, all the way back over on the river. They will take on East Knox. They actually, I believe, played Lucas a couple years ago as well, so they're used to being out here. You got Highland and Centerburg, more K action coming up, and then the big one you'll be at, Division II Lakewood, coming down from the Cleveland area to take on our Lucas Cubs.
That's right, 4-0 versus 4-0, big school versus small school. That one's got fun written all over it. Pleasant at Shelby will have a highlight for that one, and then Galleon at Marion Harding. Those will both be highlights with our dynamic duo, G-Man and Storm.
You can watch all of it tomorrow night on the Friday Night Pigskin. Live and free.
That's right. Check us out at about 11:30 p.m. tomorrow night. We will be kicking off stuff live, highlights from each one of those games. We'll break down all the final scores from around the area with our super coach, Eric Will. And then we got a new segment that's going to be dropping tomorrow, the area stat leaders, with our resident stat geek, Travis Berardi. He's going to let you know who some of the top playmakers are in the area offensively, let you know where they rank in North Central Ohio.
Couple scores as we come back from the break. Girls soccer, Madison 2, Lexington nothing at half. And a final from Loudonville, boys action, Loudonville 3, Crestview 0. Crestview in their first year back playing soccer after, I believe, a
9 years off?
8-year break, yeah. Good to see more squads get their varsity soccer team back here, because soccer in the last 5-6 years has really picked up here in the area. And Ashland trying to pick up the offense to start off.
Yeah, first 30 seconds, and they mosey down into Warrior territory. No shot attempt, though, for Mills. He wasn't able to load one up.
Goal kick will be taken by Omar Abdelaziz.
Defended on the play there by Bryden Wolf. And here comes the goal kick. Is going to be a short one. Mills with the header. And it won't stay in play for the Arrows, despite McDonald trying to crash the party there. McDonald did not get the start in the first half. He's out there on the field here for the Arrows to kick off half number 2.
So I want to see if Ontario can start pushing the ball here like they're trying right now. See if they can use that speed, that quick speed out of the break, and maybe tie this up, or can, you know, the Arrows just continue to do what they did in the last 5 minutes of the first half and control the pace.
I want to give a lot of credit to Ashland for not allowing Josh Young to do what I typically see him do in matches from the midfield, where he's so consistent with his ball control, and you know he just always seems calm out there. He has not really had an opportunity to try to set up anybody on the wing or send a nice ball down the middle. 22's kind of been locked up so far here tonight. We'll see if they can unleash him a little bit.
And that's one of the things not having Gage Weaver out there poses, because now Ashland can really key on him and pretty much shut things down from what Ontario likes to typically do.
Frankhouse trying to do it all himself.
Aiden
Frankhouse.
Speed. What a save. Can he get the rebound?
Big time save from Bryce Thompson.
Aiden Frankhouse is saved by Bryce Thompson.
So there's that speed once again by Ontario. He's able to get through 2 defenders and
nice.
actually get a good shot off.
Yeah, that was just one man on a mission. But Frankhouse couldn't cap it off. Thompson probably give more love to the goalkeeping than that of the shot attempt. Excellent stuff. Here is Josh Young making his turn and then just being harassed. And you see, you know, pass off target there with Mills breathing down his neck.
Yeah, and you know, that gets frustrating for you as well. You're just trying for 43 minutes, 44 minutes already. You've just been hounded and hounded, so you're trying to really press the issue, try to get something going, and sometimes, you know, that's what just happens. You just overpass a little bit.
Dorson down the far wing. Mendenhall looking to catch up, make a play. Zipped it around the defender. Nifty, but then offsides or over the end line.
I think he went around that one defender, but that defender was right on the line, so. Yeah, and he was. So I like the idea, just you're not allowed to do that.
Really close to pulling that whole thing off. Ashland throwing coming up, Dorson. He's taking his time, looking for a target. Ricochets off a Young. And nice play for Frankhouse again with the head of steam, looking to push it forward.
But Ashland learned from that last possession, played a little bit further back on it and shut that down.
Now the Arrows send a through ball up the middle. Ooh, chance for Sherrick.
That was a little bit closer than people would expect. Sherrick just had a full head of steam, almost able to get that off the foot.
Ward overran that just by about a half step.
But he's able to do that because he has the ability to recover.
And that one rolls all the way back to Thompson. Here's another look on the J&F Construction replay. Sherrick coming in and just creating some havoc. Cross not there in time for Tyler Daniels.
Yeah, it was just overran just a little bit by him, unable to corral it before going out.
Ashland goal kick's going to be taken by Bronson Schaefer.
So 2-1 Ashland on the Donley Fort of Ashland scoreboard. Into the 6th minute of the second half, 46 minute overall.
First touch belongs to the Warriors, but possession still up for grabs.
Nice pass there.
Now here comes Ashland. Moving forward into the attacking third with numbers. They set it up in the middle. Nothing.
I think he saw a teammate on the left side, but just couldn't get enough on his foot to cross it, and goes to the goalie instead.
Certainly didn't look like a shot attempt from Dylan Crudy.
But Ashland's still continuing to control the possession here to start the second half.
Lavengood making a nice first move, but he launches again. We've seen that about 3-4 times tonight. He's getting a couple of feet of separation from the defender, but the shot attempt just is not there.
Yeah, he really didn't have an angle to the goal as well. Maybe trying to kick it as hard as he could to get a deflection, maybe for a corner, maybe to reset something, but yeah, nothing doing.
Ashland looking to keep the pressure on. Mills, a couple of short touches. Now through the midfield, this one sent out wide. Good looking ball.
That is a nice pass over. Can he cross it now? Ooh, there's the nutmeg. The nutmeg in the cross, but couldn't get it.
Another nice setup, the highlight reel play here from Mendenhall from the corner.
Watch this right here.
Gets him with the meg. And you see just the whole momentum totally stopped there from Frankhouse.
And he had two heads inside the 6-2, but just I think he got a little excited for getting the meg and overkicked it.
Yeah, sometimes when you make those big plays, it's like in basketball. If you do a crossover and your defender falls down or something, you have to pull the trigger. You
Yep.
can't
Oh, definitely.
You can't pass
No.
after that. Got to shoot it. Arrows seemingly getting numbers forward routinely right now. Crudy here to the outside with McDonald. Drop down to the ground, physical play. Carter Weaver putting a lot of pressure on his back. And really quickly off the restart there, and the official was cool with it, I guess.
Ooh, that's kicked out.
And Big Pop Daniels right here in front of us. Yeah, I mean that's the correct call. I mean that's called a dangerous play. You can't be over the ball over the top like that. But at the same time, Carter Weaver was probably a bit aggressive.
Uh-huh.
A little bit of gamesmanship there.
I think Ontario's trying to press the offense a little bit more. You've seen Ashland able to get into the Ontario zone a little bit easier, but I think that's because Ontario's pushing a couple extra guys up to try and get something going on offense because they haven't been able to in the last 9 minutes here in the second half and the final 10 minutes of the first half.
Big tackle from the backside. Ends with the ball out of bounds. A throw in for Frankhouse. I think actually hit him in the back.
It did. Now Ontario with a chance to start this offense.
Great looking ball. Tons of space here for Daniels.
Can he get the cross? He can. But offsides.
I don't know how you can
Offside on
be
Ontario.
offsides
Coming
there.
for the Arrows.
That nobody's offsides. That's
Game
called
Ashland,
an
14
incorrect
cage
whistle.
box.
There are two defenders behind every
I
Ontario
don't-
player.
Conley,
I didn't see a foul there, so I'm guessing that's what he called was offsides, but
He definitely
nonetheless,
did. Oh no, he said it. Okay. Okay. I was gonna say.
Out of bounds on Ontario.
was down about
Kick
okay.
coming for
That's
Ashland.
Typically, ARs are a lot better than
yeah.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
So off the goal kick.
So yeah, he wasn't able to get the cross then.
Ontario throw in by Carter Weaver.
Took one extra touch. A little too far.
And that's the second time that Ontario's had that opportunity, but just passed it a little too hard and it's gone out of bounds.
How about that movement from Mills to make that turn right around the defender? That was smooth.
And he went right into his teammate, kind of stopped things.
Sherrick from the wing off the cross. Weaver's there to punch it out, but it's going to set up a corner here for Ashland. First that we've seen, I believe, in the second half.
And you've seen this Ashland squad come out with a lot of confidence here to start the second half. They're controlling the pace of play.
Corner kick is going to be taken by Dylan Crudy.
Good looking setup. Dorson again with that one-timer. Boy, he's got the timing down on that, doesn't he? They must practice this quite a bit. He's the target that they're looking for on these corners.
Yep, he was unable to get it to the feet. It was up in the air when he connected on it, and that just threw him off just enough to miss the net.
Kick taken by Omar Abdelaziz.
It was the right play, just unable to corral it.
Tough to score in this beautiful game out here. The net's so big, you wouldn't think that it'd be this difficult, but you know, goals are hard to come by, especially with two top-level teams like these going at it.
Yeah, definitely. Although, you know, Ashland has scored 15 goals in the last two matches, but that's against West Holmes Mansfield Senior, who have a combined 3 wins.
Warriors team, I mean, they've displayed consistent firepower throughout the year. They average over 5.5 goals per game. Not quite the same case for the Arrows, where they started out the year, you know, they had the 3-3 tie and then 3 straight games, no goals. One goal in a 4-game stretch, but against some great competition. So now that they're getting into the conference portion of their schedule, you know, there's a couple teams out there that the Arrows know typically they can get healthy against.
Yeah, it's contagious. Once one person starts scoring, then typically other guys start adding in as well, and that starts them on a run.
That's a lot of bugs out here.
A lot of the midge flies.
Glad they're up there by the lights and not down here with us.
One job at Chamberlain understands what those bugs are. Go back to the Was it the 2009 ALDS Indians Yankees?
Yeah, that's a fun highlight.
The Sports Center did that. This is Sports Center spoof with it as well, which is funny.
Right. Yeah, I remember that one. Ontario looking to control some possession here for, a few touches outside of that nice run that they got from Aiden Frankhouse. The pace of play has really been dictated by Ashland. They have been in control here in half two.
But the good thing for Ontario is they haven't allowed a goal into the back of the net for Ashland. So, that quick score offense Ontario has, they just need that once to equalize things up here in the second half, and they still have 26 and a half minutes to do so.
And there we go, about 4 or 5 connected passes. The AR says the Warriors offside. Looked like maybe Conley up top. Might have been a step off. But that was the best build-up, I think, that we've seen here tonight from the kids in the white jerseys, at least in the second half.
Yeah, that's a very good run out by Ontario. Just got a little too excited on the start from the kick and offsides, but let's see if they can build off of that.
Now I can't help but look at all the bugs floating around out there, man.
It's a good thing we're in here. One of the few air-conditioned press boxes as well. I mean, this is nice here at Community Stadium. Not needed outside with the sun hitting down on this press box. It does warm it up a little bit.
Substitutions here for the Warriors. They're going to get Berendenson, Myers into the game. Also Driscoll. So 3 fresh bodies checking in here for Ashland.
We also want to once again welcome everybody watching in on Facebook and YouTube, live and free, right here on the OH Report. Let us know where you're watching from. Want to give some shout-outs to your squad. If you have anybody playing in this, let us know.
Any little fun tidbits, too, that you can help us out with. Always love sharing some fun stories, some nuggets of info. Liven things up.
Gotta love the nugs. The Megs and Nugs. 2 things you could like. Ontario's going to get a shot here. Brian, what can Ontario do to try and change their offensive woes that they've had here in the second half?
It's going to be tough because Ashland's just possessing so well. They're doing a great job of controlling the midfield, and they're the ones that are connecting that first and second passes. This one into the back of the 18 is going to be headed deep into the corner here.
Oh, and it wasn't going out, so it was saved by Ashland.
Yeah, I think almost on accident.
Yeah.
Off the back hill there of Caden Fox.
I think it surprised him at the last second by slowing down, and he overran it. Now Ontario's got a chance.
Yeah, they've got Conley moving forward along with Walters on the backside, and I've seen, quite a bit of frustration on the face of Walters. He had some space and didn't have an opportunity to get a look from one of his teammates there.
And because of that throw-in, Ontario now able to set up the offense. So their best offensive chance thus far of the night. They did have the 2 breakaways, but now they have multiple bodies here in the zone. And they'll get another throw-in.
Tried to switch the field there over to Fulmer.
Got to go Warriors from 1 Brock Hill.
How about that? The former Warrior, now QB for the Mansfield Senior High Tigers.
Getting ready for a big one against Tiffin Columbian at Columbian tomorrow night.
Really wish that we had enough bodies and cameras to be able to get up there and check out the Tigers, but we're definitely going to be cheering them on here from Mansfield. Got some great football going on in our area this year.
A lot of good, solid football teams. One of the teams being the Crestview Cougars from right here in Ashland.
That's right. The undefeated Cougars playing at home tomorrow.
Back-to-back high-quality victories against East Knox and Western Reserve. Although for the other squad, for Ashland, not the start that they wanted on the year. They're 0-4. Looking to bounce back this week.
Yeah, maybe, some of their top athletes starting to come out for the soccer team. Obviously, there's some good-looking athletes here playing for the Arrows. I think Mills certainly would be one of them. Laven good as well. So, you know, sometimes you do lose some kids that could be big difference makers for you to other sports. Maybe that's the case this season for the Arrows, off to a 0-4 start.
And it's something you see also Gallion Frankhouse last year. Now playing soccer for the first place MOAC squad. No call there. And that's another surprise this year. The boys from Gallion going undefeated so far in the MOAC. They'll have a de facto MOAC championship match with Ontario coming up here in a couple of weeks after knocking off Clear Fork.
Probably the biggest surprise of the boys soccer season that we've had so far here in North Central Ohio. New program, turning the corner quick. Getting their stuff together, competitive.
You see squads like the girls squad from Shelby. Even the Mansfield Senior girls starting to pick things up. The boys squad from Mansfield Senior has a couple wins on the year, something that a few years ago you wouldn't expect from them. So,
and there's the state-ranked Lady Arrows out here cheering on their boys.
I believe they just got back from a match.
Ashland throwing will be taken by Johnny Ward.
Laven good this time, was able to keep it down, but wide right on the shot attempt.
Goal kick coming for Ontario.
So another chance there for Ashland. As we come up on the midway point of the second half. But still only 2-1.
Good defense right there from Carter Weaver. Ashland had about 3 bodies moving into the 18, and again, you know, they're just possessing so well here in the second half. They've got to have about a 60
I'd say even more.
3%. Yeah.
I'd say about 65% possession. After it was only 53-47, that was because only the last 5 minutes. It was 50-50 until the last 5 minutes when Ashland really controlled possession, and it just came over here to the second half where they've really held control of this match.
So if you're Ontario, the good news is for their fans that you're still just down 1 goal. You know, Ashland, they've had the run of play here. They've kind of dominated possession, but it hasn't mattered because neither team has really been able to develop a great look on net. About 1 each per my count here in the second half, but both goalkeepers doing their job, keeping a clean slate here over these first 20 minutes of half number 2.
And for Ashland, I don't see their need to really press anything for, I'd say, another 15 minutes. Maybe down once you get to the 5-minute mark, if it's still 2-1, that's when you really need to press things, but they can continue to play their game. Maybe get a run out, maybe get one of those open looks. Still tons of time left for them. And they'll get a throw in here.
Ontario throw-in will be taken by Jordan Bulakowski.
Bulakowski taking his time, trying to find a target. He's going to go back towards his own net. Now taken away from Wolf, was a bit careless with it.
We haven't seen much in terms of shots or shots on target yet here in the second half. It was a combined 15 in the first half. Only 4 shots and 1 on net here in the second so far. We've already played 21 minutes.
That one's going to sail out of play, intended for Daniels from Young. So that connection from the midfielder, number 22 for Ontario, has not been present much here tonight. Warriors have missed his playmaking ability.
And that's mainly because just the way Ashland's been able to shut him down. They've been able to key on him because Weaver not in the lineup tonight. So that's one less body they're going to have to really worry about as playmaker, the main contributor for this for this Ontario squad. So they're able to really key on Young more tonight.
A lot of nice pressure by Daniels there. Just keeping the motor running, making things tough on Caden Fox. It's like pinball there for a minute. Cling, clang, clang. Now it's going to end up with this one. Taking a big cop outside the box and then into the 18 and snatched by Abdelaziz.
Yeah, defense has really picked up here. Between the 30s. That was a nice shield job there.
Big boot. Judson chasing the whole way. Made this probably a little bit more interesting than it needed to be. But Schaefer, like you said, using his body.
Little basketball, boxing the guy out. Keeping him from getting to the ball. Allowing his keeper to corral it and kick it away.
That's one of those, players that play multiple sports, that's why they say sometimes, that translation, it can help. Having one skill in a game to another one. So here's a big shot down here to Conley.
We're going to have some substitutions. 4 for Ashland, 1 for Ontario.
13, Bryce Mendenhall, 10, Andrew Mills, and 15, Owen Sherritt. For Ontario, number 5.
Oh, hey, fans. How are we doing out there?
This has been an entertaining match so far, Brian. I mean, a lot of offense in the first half, and then the second half, really a defensive battle in between the 30s.
It has been, with Ashland dictating a lot of the pace. So, for them, they're the ones with the lead. If they can just keep controlling possession, they don't have to get shot attempts. For Ontario, it's a little bit different story. You got to generate some more offense. Here, as of late, they've been getting something cooking down on that far left wing. Some big through balls, and you see the speed, man. It's very evident, these kids that they got playing out there with Conley battling for the ball right now.
You could compare Ashland's offense to the other football, the Lucas football offense, just a couple yards at a time running that clock off, just continuing to push the offense, run the clock. You don't score, but you're taking the time off the clock.
They've been nice and precise with a lot of these passes, and you see just forcing defenders to come to them, opens up a little bit of space elsewhere. And that's one of the few times that we've seen a pass where, there was still a little bit of room for the offensive player of the Arrows, who don't pick up a foul there, actually, surprisingly.
Down to 15 minutes left. Pass is intercepted for the moment, but taken back by Ontario. Nice pass. They have something going here. Nope.
And then Daniels was making a nice run down that right wing, but the Ashland defense been consistent all night.
And honestly, soccer, a game of inches. You saw that pass attempt by Ontario over here. Just an inch to the left or right, that gets through, and they have a good scoring chance, but instead it's off the defender of Ashland, and now they have an offensive possession.
Mills going to play a ball out to the wing. Dorson charging. He's going to lay it back. Now Dorson chips one. And kind of an easy ball there for Abdelaziz.
He tried the cross there, but, was one-on-one, and Abdelaziz has the right of way to get to the ball. Picks it up. Back comes Ontario. There's a nice pass down the left side. Nice defense as well.
Well done there by Schaefer. Turning on the Jets last second, the acceleration to get in between Conley and the ball.
Yeah, I'm very impressed at this Ashland speed they have. There's some bigger guys out there, but they match the smaller speed that Ontario has. As the Warriors about to make a big substitution here. And we're going to get a foul.
Big hip check there. So the whistle against Tyler Daniels is going to set up a free kick. Probably Mills looks like he's going to handle it here for Ashland. As we're approaching the 13-minute mark. And there's the fan base here. They're having a good time out here at Community Stadium, showing support for their fellow classmates, and I love it, man. Coming out here on a Thursday night. It is, man. It is a beautiful night here, so why not have those guns out? So we're going to get Mills. Going to set this up along with Lavengood, discussing, putting together a little secret operation.
Now we'll have a discussion.
I think maybe The referee was like, hey, I want to be involved in these
Free
plans.
kick's going to be taken by Carson Lavengood.
I think he was saying enough of the powwow. Let's just get going.
Okay. So it's going to be Lavengood driving one.
Oof.
Lavengood shot goes high. Goal
Just
kick
a
coming
few
for Ontario.
feet too tall. That's kind of been his story here tonight.
Ontario, number
He's had some
14, Aiden
good
Frank
connections on his deep shots so far in this evening.
Number 20,
About 5 of them, though, have all sailed.
That time he had the bend that he wanted. It was going far post, curved back in towards the middle, but it just didn't drop like he wanted it. Now 12 minutes left.
And Ontario just made some big substitutions. They got 4 new guys out onto the field here. Probably looking to ride them here, give it their maximum energy and effort over these last dozen minutes.
Got some fresh legs out here.
Frank House drops it back. Now they try to get it back out to the wing to Frank House.
Out on Ashland, throwing
Bit of an
coming for
overpass
Ontario.
there. Nice effort to try and save it, but it's out, so Ontario deep in their own territory, though. We'll see if they can get something going here as we approach 10 minutes left in the match.
Said it's going to be Ashland. Just sending one out of play. Might have been a misread or a miscommunication that time. Nobody made a run.
Goal kick will be taken by Omar Abdelaziz.
I hear the Ontario coaching staff, really trying to fire up their squad right now that's out on the field. So they're sending Weaver back into the mix.
Throw in by Kyle Walters.
Trying to use their speed here. Oh, that's smart. That's a very smart play by Ashland. He, instead of trying to kick it away, he deflects it off the Ontario offensive player, and now it's going to be a goal kick.
And here are the Lady Arrows making their entrance. Or their exit, actually. They're out of here, man. They're so confident in their team, they don't need to see these last 10 minutes. It's a school night, Got
Yeah,
class
it is.
in the
That's
morning.
true, yes. They're just coming from their match as well. They got to carbo load up,
Ashland throw in by Noah McDonald.
get the bed. Probably past their bedtime, I mean, as high schoolers, we went to bed early, Brian, yeah.
Out of bounds on the Arrows. Goal kick coming for the Warriors.
It's a good philosophy.
Goal kick gonna
Who
be
am I
taken by
kidding?
Omar
We're in bed at like 3 in the morning. These kids probably do the same. I don't know.
Another look at the Ashland cheering section.
Good to just see fans back in the stands.
Yeah, it is. Always a big proponent of just go support your fellow classmates, even if you don't necessarily love the sport that you're going to check out. It's always cool just to have your classmates out there cheering for you. You see them, and then the next day at school, like, hey, man, appreciate you coming for the support.
I saw you on the OH report last night. That's the best part, too. Love getting student sections, especially football season,
Certainly. That's kind of what the OH report was founded on in our early years, was I just showed a bunch of crowd shots. That way more people would watch. Hey, I made the highlight. So we try to give the fans what they want out here, and who doesn't love seeing themselves on camera, on the internet, and especially on the OH report. We try to make people OH famous around here.
And, hey, the play on the field was not bad as well.
Yeah, this has been a well-played match, and now things are going to start tightening up. Look for Ontario to understand now that it's money time, baby. Like, are we going to stack some chips, or are we going to go home knowing that we didn't empty the tank?
Yeah, they're able to do that, the regular offensive possession here with the free kick. But after this, I think you'll see them pressing.
Susceptible to a counterattack, though,
Yep.
as Sherrick sends it out wide. And Lavengood had that one deflected. Aiden couldn't keep it in bounds, though.
Yep, it'll be a throw-in for Ashland.
Ashland throwing will be taken by
Down to
Dorian
7:40 left. Make sure you stay tuned after the match for our player of the game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. Definitely open to suggestions in our chat on the Facebook and YouTube if you want to throw out a couple of players' names. You know, I've really been impressed with Andrew Mills tonight and how he's done. Here he is with an attempt. Ooh, had a couple of bodies on the backside. Just a bit, I think, too hard for Sherrick. But he's done a nice job in the midfield. He's definitely in the conversation, no question about that.
in the game for Ashland, number 14, Caden Fox.
So Fox will get back in.
Ashland throwing
He'll
is
replace
gonna be taken by
McDonald.
Dorian Dewerson.
So another set of fresh legs out there for Ashland for the final 6.5.
See, Jason Davis says maybe Bryce Thompson in the net deserves some love tonight. He hasn't had to make very many stops, but when the opportunities have been present for him, he's made a couple of decent saves. Bronson Schaefer's defensive play has been big, says Brittany Leary. I agree. And Joe agrees with me that maybe Andrew Mills should be in line for that MVP. Oh, big collision right there, but I think that was all ball.
I was. Clean play. We play on. Can Ashland... Oh, there's a shove and no call.
And it's, man, I get it for these officials. They don't want to determine the game with a call at the end. But check this out. Well, I mean, to be fair, from that angle, you can see Lavengood did have his arm fully extended. So it was a battle. Both players were pushing. But Magler probably fortunate not to get that call.
And now we have a stoppage, and
Ashland free kick's going to be taken by Andrew Mills.
I think we're going to replay this.
Yeah, Mills definitely going to get another chance here. Referee has blown his whistle. And this is a much better looking strike.
Oh, out of nowhere, though, comes Josh Young. Who else to make a good header save?
There were two black jerseys charging on the back end of that, if not for Young getting in the way.
So for now, that keeps Ontario in this match. Still only one score down.
Physical play going on in the box on both sides. As that one airmailed from Dewerson.
Teed up right for him, but ooh, really kicked that one.
Warriors starting to run out of time here for a comeback as there's action going on the field, and I think about half the Ontario team was waiting for Gage Johnson to check in. Kind of left this open backside. Fox, too tall with the right.
Fox goes high, goal kick coming for Ontario.
I think he tried that with his opposite foot.
Definitely kicked it with his right.
I think he rushed that too. I think he could have used his dominant foot there to get a shot on, but
Foul on Ashland, free kick coming for the Warriors.
Ashland called for its first foul of the second half. 3:40 left. Ontario might have a chance here.
Free kick will be taken by number 11, Bryden Wolf.
Arrow's going to be ready for it. Packing in that box. 9 guys back defending. But Ontario starting to get everybody forward now. Starting to sense the urgency.
And we got a foul, a push.
Yeah, second whistle going against Ashland here over the last minute. So nice opportunity here for Josh Young. Kind of redeem what's been somewhat of a pedestrian night, at least for a kid of his standards.
And this isn't a position where he can get it into the box for an attempt. Puts it up short, though.
Yeah, not very well struck right there. Everybody was charging towards net, and that was outside of the 18, so it's going to lead to this.
What a clear.
Carson Lavengood, 1v1. Gets by the defender who fell down there. That was Saltzgiver.
Gets by one defender.
And I think just kind of playing it out, wasting some time as we're starting to get short on time here. 2:20 to go.
See, I don't know if he was thinking about crossing that or just, like you said, just taking time off. What a save.
Mills bringing some heat. But Omar handles again. He's been pretty solid tonight.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes.
Ontario with another throw-in.
Ontario throw-in by Aiden
And it feels like the complexion of the game starting to change now with Ontario feeling like they have to get it done.
How's that not a foul?
Frankhouse looking to set up the right foot, lost his balance before he can uncork one.
Cleared away after the slide tackle.
But it's Young there for it.
And offsides.
Offside on Ontario. Free kick.
I believe they're calling Gage Johnson offsides on that play. And for Ashland, just going to take their time setting this up.
Free kicks
1:20 left. Ontario might have one, maybe two rushes left in them. We'll see, though.
That's a great flick.
Played all the way back to Abdelaziz. He had to go way out of his area to get it, though.
Ashland with possession.
And that was Fox who just came back into the match with a good defensive play on that pass to take more time off. We're at 45 seconds.
It's going to be an Ashland throw-in, so they're going to do everything they can to milk some more clock before they actually get it back into the field of play, as they do there with Fox. You hear everybody on the Ashland side just saying, bring it down to the corner. So this will be the chance for the last rush for Ontario. It's going to start with Young. Oh, decent ball.
They had the opportunity there, just couldn't get a foot on it. Coming up on 10 seconds left.
10, 9, 8.
Young pressure taken away, and
5, 4.
That's going to do it.
3, 2, 1. Game.
Well played match here tonight at the Community Soccer Complex of Ashland, where the Arrows again continue their win streak over Ontario. That's 3 straight for Ashland in this rivalry. Haven't lost to the Warriors since 2016. We'll step away. When we come back, we'll have your Sutton post-game action and an interview with our MVP. We'll have some discussion. Still not sure who it's going to be, but we'll have him up here in the booth next.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I'm not cheering attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs. packed with possibilities.
We are now back with our Mechanics Bank player of the game, Andrew Mills, the senior midfielder from Ashland. Spectacular performance, I think in particular in that second half. Give us some insight onto how you guys were able to dominate so much possession there over the last 40 minutes. You did a great job of limiting the midfield for Ontario, keeping possession for yourselves.
Yeah. Just coming in this game, we knew we had to play physical. We were coming off a tough beginning of the season. We just knew we needed to win this game, get our streak going. We know a lot of the players and how they kick. I noticed how the goalkeeper, his kicks were going towards about midfield, so I knew to place myself right about there, get that aerial ball win every time.
The beginning of the season was murder or rose for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you were playing some top competition.
Oh, yeah.
Really got battle tested. So 3 straight victories for you. How much do you think the first few games got you ready for the meat of the season?
It was an absolute battle, coming off a 3-3 tie or 3-3 draw with Northview, and then I think we went to Findlay and lost a heartbreak. It was 1-0. We lost to them in the tournament game last year, so we just needed to kind of get that off our chest. Then we had a tough loss to Sylvania Southview. Then we came back and then we played West Holmes, got a big win there. Then Mansfield Senior, 2 conference games, had to win those. And we just knew coming in this game we had to get that streak going. We were talking at halftime as if we win this game, it's going to go us from here up. If we lose or tie this game, it's just going to keep going stagnant. We found it in this game to win it.
And able to knock off a quality opponent like Ontario. This is 3 straight victories for you guys over the Warriors. Got to imagine that's pretty satisfying, taking care of business against a team that's been as successful as Ontario has recently. Yeah,
we knew coming to this game that they were state ranked, so we needed to knock them off our schedule. Ontario's always got a great program, great players, so we needed to come out and get a big win. We got the community behind us, cheering us on, so quality win tonight. Proud of my guys.
Ontario is a team that they score goals in bunches, but they use their speed to do it.
Yeah.
What were you guys able to do defensively to really cancel that out tonight?
We really talked with our defensive backs. I know I got Tyler Daniels, and I don't know the player on the other side, but they got some real speed out on the wings, and we knew they like to push up. So we just told our defensive backs that just wait for that ball and then come through when they take that longer touch and kick it out.
So moving forward, I imagine the confidence got to be filling up for you guys. You know, how good does it feel to get into the middle of the season on a nice run, 3 games, and you know you got some more competition.
Yeah.
I see it. It doesn't get any easier for you guys, does it?
It feels great coming off this big win. You know, we got Perrysburg on Saturday, and we got another couple of big games. We got Olentangy, Berlin coming up later in this season, so there's some really big games that we got to prepare for. And this game just kind of propelled us forward, got our confidence up, and I'm really proud of my guys for how they worked out tonight.
All right, our MVP of the night, Andrew Mills, the senior midfielder from Ashland. I seen a lot of your buddies were actually here tonight, and then the girls' soccer team, but do you want to give any shout-outs to anyone who might not have been able to make it?
No particular shout-outs, but thank you to all my community that watching this back home. Proud of you guys for coming out. Big win. See you next one.
That's right. Andrew putting on for the city tonight. Big performance, 2-1 win for the Arrows here at home. We'll step away. We'll be back with the Sutton Bank postgame. Stay tuned.
Frito Lay Variety Packs presents Totally Unrealistic, Never Gonna Happen in a Million Years Mom Fantasies.
Mother, thank you for planning such an enriching camping trip for us.
Please accept this as a token of our appreciation.
Now let us sing to you.
This'll never happen, but this might.
There's like no reception.
I got cheered attack. Ew, bugs!
Dibs on the Fritos!
Frito Lay Variety Packs, packed with possibilities.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
The Sutton Bank postgame continues from Ashland Community Stadium, where the home fans got a show tonight from the Arrows. 2-1. They are victorious over the Ontario Warriors, their 3rd straight win over the Warriors in the series and their 3rd straight victory on the season. Brian Skrosky, Travis Berardi with you to break down the final stats of the evening, and I think what stands out most is probably just that possession. Ashland, they had about a little bit of an advantage in that department in the first half, but in the second half, they took control, man. Their midfielders, in particular our MVP, Mr. Mills, they did a dynamite job of just controlling, keeping it away from the playmakers of Ontario. I think it helped lead them to victory.
And it started after the tie-breaking goal. They go up 2-1 on that corner piece, and then just control possession from then on. They had a 53-47 possession advantage at the break, but they boosted up to 60-40. They just controlled the pace in that second half and didn't allow Ontario to really do anything. They had one shot on target in that second half, and that's why you see the 17-6 shot advantage, 5-3 shots on target. Corners, only one in that second half, and that was for Ashland. However, Ontario, they had 3 chances early on, couldn't really convert off of those. 8-7 favor fouls. Ontario 8-7 for Ashland. Offsides twice Ontario was offsides, and those were 2 big offsides late in the match, as well as Ontario tried to get some offense going. And like I said, possession was 60-40 in favor of the Ashland Arrows.
So a couple of takeaways for tonight. I think it's hard not to be impressed by Ashland. They have some big physical guys at pretty much every level. So I think, this is a bona fide D1 team. They've tested themselves. You could tell from hearing from Andrew that they were a little disappointed they didn't get some victories in the early portion of the season, even though they're playing against ranked D1s. But guess what? Ashland's a D1 too. So if that's going to be the barometer, if you're going to have that many boys at the school, you're going to have to compete against them. So I think that they have the athletes to do that, and they showcased here tonight that they're, probably their program's just a little bit above Ontario, who plays at the Division II level.
Well, I mean, it's almost equal to the top teams in Division I, I think, because they played every Division I tough. They've either tied or lost by one, except the exception, Worcester, but that was because it was 1-0, and then they went down. The 10 men really couldn't play anything because of that red card. So other than that match, they've been in every match they've been playing. They even took a tough Lexington squad. They tied 0-0 to start the season. So this is a squad that's battle-tested, and, a bounce here, a bounce there. Maybe the record's a lot better, and they may be the state-ranked team, but they're that close to being one of the best teams in Division I, in my opinion.
And for the Warriors, obviously, this is a great team. Probably going to end up being MOAC champions for, the 4th, 5th straight year in a row?
Yeah.
Every single season that they've been in it. However, I think that we saw here tonight that without their big gun, without that 6-shooter, Gage Weaver available that they can just send it up top to, and he's just more big, physical, faster. I mean, the dude really does run like a horse, and he's just everything that you want in a big-time forward. When they don't have him on the field, which he comes back in the next game, Warriors fans, so you're going to like that. They're a different-looking team.
Well, yeah, because defenders don't have to key on multiple players. They can key on somebody like Josh Young, who's trying to get that offense started for Ontario. What were most of Ontario's offensive good attempts tonight? They were breakaways. They were using the speed off to the side and trying to get it back in. But Ashland really, especially in that second half, shut that down, and it allowed them to keep that 2-1 lead, a scoreless second half, and Ashland comes out with the victory.
That they did, folks. One more time, 2-1 Ashland victorious here tonight at the Community Stadium as they win their 3rd straight game heading into a big weekend matchup with Perrysburg. I want to thank everybody that helped make tonight's broadcast possible, including our 2 amazing camera people. We had some good shots. We got credit on the Facebook. Someone said, hey, I love these camera angles because of Hayden Gray down on the sideline. So thank you to Hayden.
You can't get that anywhere else in North Central Ohio as well. I mean, Hayden doing a really good job in his first year.
Doing some good stuff. And then Nick Jacobs up top, our bona fide stud, one of our top A1 camera guys, bringing you the drone footage too. So those 2 guys in particular you want to thank. And then Adam Thompson always makes us look good. He controls the sound and the graphics and everything that you see visually on the screen. So thank you to those 3 guys right there. And then I'm just Brian and Travis. We do our thing. We got the easy
They
job.
set us up and we just, talk and that's it. I mean, we got it easy, right, Ski?
It. All right, bring up the highlights. Let's get out of here. For Travis and the entire team, I'm Brian. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure that you catch us tomorrow night.
Football Friday night.
Lots of football coming up on the OH Report, including 4 live streams, so you can watch live and free places all over the country, the world, folks. All you need is an internet connection and your Facebook or YouTube, and we have got you covered.
Don't forget about the pigskin.
Don't forget about that pigskin. All the highlights that you want to see, all of the final scores from the 5 conferences that we cover at 11:30 tomorrow night. You can catch us there. But for right now, we out of here.